Welcome, and thank you for watching this third episode of our Top Trends in Financial Services video series. This video series sets out to shed light on trends shaping the future of financial services. I'm Tom Feher, Fintech Industry Advisor for Microsoft, and today I'm joined by recognized thought leader in fintech and Wall Street innovation. Let's welcome Efi Pylarinou.
Thank you, Tom, for the warm welcome. I'm delighted to be with you and discuss in the new year these uh, interesting topics and developments and what we are excited about going forward.
Efi, it's great to have you with us today. Dr. Efi Pylarinou has a doctorate in finance and has become a recognized technology thought leader on innovation topics in financial services. She has been recognized as a global woman influencer in finance and technologies. She is included in Analytics Top 20 FinTech Influencers and in their Top 20 Who's Who in AI lists and many other lists. And she has over 200,000 followers on LinkedIn and is a prolific content creator, host, author, and speaker. Efi, we're seeing quite a bit of transformation across the financial services industry right now. It's a pretty fun time in the industry. For example, I've heard you talk about the rise of distributed finance. What is that all about, and why is it becoming so important?
Yeah, Tom, we've come a long way in financial services. I like to think that we are pretty much done with the first wave of digital transformation in financial services, although it's not uniform across different regions. And that is all about delivering financial services through our smartphones 24/7, be it for retail customers like you and me or businesses. And that's an ongoing process, but pretty mature, I would say. Parallel to that is the next wave of digitalization, and that really includes embedded finance and what I like to envision as distributed finance everywhere, where the customer is at. And again, the customer can be an individual or a business. And what I'm talking about is embedding financial services into non-financial businesses, into their apps, their websites, wherever again the customer is at. Tom, I like to think of it as if we are seeing an operating model, if you want, for each of us. And again, the individuals or the businesses where we are at, and it's developing, we are all benefiting. And on the other hand, the providers, be it retail or whatever, are also benefiting. It lowers their customer acquisition cost. It enables them to get to know the customer better with all the additional data that's available. It increases the long-term value of the customer. Anderson Horowitz actually says that embedded finance might uh, increase revenues per customer up to 5 times. Can you imagine that? And what I'm more excited about is that this is not only true or feasible for the large, big giants, the Walmarts or IKEA or Lyft that I mentioned earlier, and Amazon and so on. It's also technology that can be leveraged by the small and medium enterprises and really distribute finance where they're at. So this is really something to look forward to in 2023 and on.
Efi, you mentioned several examples in the ecosystem. Most of us can probably think of embedded finance products that we use today, or at least we've seen as they become more common with consumers. What is one fintech innovation for end consumers that you consider to already be successful, but still has so much more potential going forward?
I would single out mobile wallets. Mobile wallets, first of all, let's look at how successful they are. If we look at e-commerce, the adoption of mobile wallets is stunning. And of course, as we all suspect, COVID and the change of our behaviors has a lot to do with it. But on a global basis, if we look at the adoption of mobile wallets versus cards, credit or debit cards, it is huge. In 2021, globally, mobile wallets had a share of 49% versus around 20% for credit cards and 13% for debit cards. And that is expected to increase. If we look at in-store adoption, mobile wallets have also increased. They're not as strong as in e-commerce. There we have 39% share of the market. But again, the gap with credit and debit cards, which in-store is about 5 points. I think they're around 29% in-store. That is expected to widen. What excites me more is the potential to do even more things in terms of the functionality of the mobile wallets. Right now, they look a little bit like a digital version of our physical wallets where, we have some cash, we have an ID, we have some cards, and all that we can also have in the mobile wallets. But what we can't have in our physical wallets is we can't have programmability. There is no interactivity. There's no personalization. And that is what is amazing potential with mobile wallets. Mobile wallets are programmable, they're interactive, and they're customizable.
I agree, Efi. In fact, it's exciting to see what the flow of information is going to do for both the services it's going to bring to consumers going forward, as well as on the merchant side. Exciting time in with the shift to digital. Yeah. Speaking of going forward, as we continue to look at the future of fintech and transformative changes in financial services, what kind of innovations are you really excited about going forward, and why?
I'm excited about innovations really at the infrastructure layer. And there's two major areas that I have my, if you want, radar on, and those are payments and capital markets. So we already have seen in payments the network effects that the new infrastructure can unlock. And that we have seen in the Indian market, where the government there launched a new payment infrastructure, publicly funded, UPI, Universal Payment Infrastructure. And that has been leveraged by the private digital providers, be it fintech, be it tech companies, and we are seeing the network effects in the economy because of this new infrastructure. Similarly, we are seeing in capital markets all this interest, piloting, and some live projects at the infrastructure layer for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. That again has huge potential, whether it's retail CBDCs or wholesale CBDCs. In the case of wholesale CBDCs, it will impact capital markets. We're also seeing in capital markets shared ledgers being used to change not only the issuance of securities, but also how we manage securities in their life cycle. And examples are DTCC in the US is really designing a new shared ledger, but there's many more such examples that are really going to change the way the economy is operating, and where the the magic will happen, if you want, is that these new infrastructures are going to allow the data to flow and surpass the frictions that we currently have. And where I am looking to see more innovation is with these new infrastructures, where there is the intersection of payments, supply chain, and logistics. If data flows from the real economy, supply chain and logistics, and payments, then we are really going to have done the foundational work for the smart economy. And we're starting. And of course, if we add AI to all this, because the data will be flowing, then the limit is the sky, really.
It all starts with the data, doesn't it? And it's amazing as we continue to leverage technologies like AI going forward, the impact that can have on an area like payments. You know, I'm seeing a lot within the fintech industry. Fintechs investing in this area and really looking at how they can leverage all three elements. It's exciting time in that space, most definitely. And Efi, I just wanted to thank you today for joining me. It's always a pleasure, and for your insights on fintech innovation. Please watch the other videos in our top trends in financial services video series, where we feature other industry experts discussing what they're seeing at the intersection of technology and financial services.